All right. It has occurred to me that if your building's in REAP, which stands for Rent Escrow Adjustment Program, that you have been to the general manager's meeting and your building has been violating certain things that have been brought upon the owner as notice. Notice that they are violating the rights of the tenant by not keeping habitability. So they get stuck with this problem. The money in REAP, the Rent Adjustment Program, is sent in by the tenant at a percentage of what their rent would normally be. If your rent's $400, all of a sudden it's $100 at the most. In our case, at least, we're 95% violation ratio. That's what it breaks down to for the number of violations they got, over 22. And therefore, we have a $50 to $100 rent maximum with a 3% raise per year at the most. So, where am I going with this? REAP. If your building's in REAP, the landlord can only collect a very, very small percentage. And that money first goes to the city through the city's program called REAP, through the hdcila, Housing Commission Investment Development Department. And they take that money in the mail at this special address, certified check or money order, blah, blah, blah. And it's a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction of what the money was. And that goes to paying the supplies for doing the repairs on the building. So our building has been in REAP since what year, Jackalope?
2017?
No, before that. 2004 or 5.
Oh, okay.
Or 6.
Yeah, that's right.
Way before Ruben Pina.
Yeah.
It was like under Fred Medell.
Yeah.
So our building's been in REAP under its owner. And then it's his son-in-law or nephew or whatever, a family member, years later is in second REAP. Now, you can't be in 2 REAPs. So they discontinue the second REAP, but they continue the first REAP. Meaning they never stopped the REAP. The REAP has been. It has always been, and it will always be until these problems have been faced. Now, they also declared this place habitable, but some Snyder guy, Steve Schneider, he's a scam artist. He comes in and tries to get the place on the vacated list by saying it's uninhabitable. So an inspector comes out and says, you're a liar. Place is habitable, but it has violations up the wazoo. All right, so we're at that point. So now a shitload of other people try to buy this place. And the lender, of certain instances, many times over, has sold the place repeatedly, knowing all of this fair and well. So you're asking yourself, what am I saying? Well, what am I saying is that if you can only collect $100 a month on a place that you as a lender try to say is worth $100 a day, a $3,000 value supposedly, that you're losing $2,900 on, then you can't meet rent assignments for your loan that you've lended. That means the person borrowing money from you could never actually meet the demands of the loan and then would for sure be foreclosed upon. You would never assign them the loan. You'd never give them the money. Your title company would never insure you. None of these things would actually be real. Nobody in their right fucking mind would actually give money out like this unless they had a scam in mind. Unless they were going to lose money for title insurance scams, if they were going to take money on hard money lending that was specifically take, and screw everybody over, if they were a real property fraudster, if they were a bank fraudster, they call those banksters. If they were anybody at all, the broker wanting to collect money on his commission, wanting to take the extra on asking for more money than was necessary for construction loans, from the construction company that's actually just trying to bind it up in encumbrances for liens on the property that are unnecessary for improvements that only assess the value of the property to be more, which is all of what happens. So this place has got over 22 major violations. Nothing has been done to it in any shape or form to actually correct any of them, except for by myself and my partner. And there's been $200,000+ consistently added to it every transfer. And it's been sold like 4 times since I've been here, illegally, while we're the only possessors. So it occurred to me that if you're in REAP, everybody's full of shit because they know, and their disclosure between each other, themselves, the property, is one Google search away from finding out that they're in REAP, and they know it. and that it's already there. They're just not disclosing it because they all want to scam the property. They're all mortgage frauders. And it's definitive proof at this point. We're in REAP. We have been. Google it. 1968 Avon, 1410 Ewing. Look it up. REAP. HCDILA. That's all you need to know. Search those two things. You'll see. You're totally full of shit if you're trying to move forward on taking our property. We're going to take you. We're going to take you right to the FBI. And you're going to fucking go to jail. And that's the way it's going to be. So you feel lucky, punk? Do ya? Do ya? Because I certainly fucking do.